Good morning. Happy Pi Day. You gotta have something to cheer us up with this weather. Welcome to First Universalist Church of Yarmouth. My name is Ann Turner. I'm a member of the Worship Council, and I am very glad to be greeting you all on this dreary day. A warm welcome to you gathered here in the sanctuary, as well as a warm welcome to you gathered with us on Zoom. At First Universalist, our mission is to explore our faith, embrace this community, and engage the world as spiritual seekers. May we take these words to heart. If this is your first time here in our congregation, welcome to you. We invite you to fill out a connection card, which is in the pew in front of you, so we may connect with you with programs that interest you. You can drop it in the offering plate when it comes around later in the service. For those joining with young children, we have nursery care right through that door and down the hall. We have trained staff, and it's a great place for small people who'd like to wiggle. Following the service, you are all invited to join us for coffee hour, our time of friendship and fellowship downstairs in the gathering room. Before we start the service, I have two announcements. First, today is a very special day in our congregation. It is Pi Day. We will be honoring the sacred infinite number, pi, together. And, just as importantly, we will be eating pie together. Following the service, all are welcome downstairs. We have a special pie coffee hour. There are many goodies down there. Our second announcement is that on Saturday, March 22nd, we will hold our main farm supper with all the proceeds going. Didn't I say that? 23rd? Sorry, Saturday, March 23rd. All the proceeds going to Tedford Housing. Reserve your tickets by March 20th. There's a link online to do that. And now, I invite you to take a deep breath and stretch and settle into this time together. Our music director, Sam Chandler, will lead us into worship.
Thanks, Sam. Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's good to see you. Warm and dry. I can't complain. Happy Pie Day. A high in the sky apple pie holy day for some of us here. And happy daylight savings. What time is it? No idea. But hey, may everything for everyone just get sweeter and brighter from here. I'm Reverend Hillary. I serve as the minister here at First U. And friends, it is with peace and friendship I say, whoever you are, wherever you're from, whomever you love, whatever you've done, whether you are here today for the church service or you are here today for the pie after the church service, you are welcome here. And we are so glad that you've joined us in peace and friendship too. Friends, in honor of this upcoming Thursday, March 14th, 314, National Pie Day, today we will celebrate two of the best things in life, that life-giving number of infinite possibility, pie, and that life-giving food of infinite deliciousness, pie. And we'll get to the math of it all later, which for this rather mathematically challenged minister means we'll get to some thoughts that relate to math in a roundabout way, roundabout being a pie-informed word. Ha ha ha. Just come on, just work with me, guys. First and foremost, though, let's talk pie with an E. Our opening words this morning are by the wonderful poet Alberto Rios, and I share his poem, Perfect for Any Occasion, which, yes, you may recall I shared as the words of invocation on Pie Day last year. But my friends, well, this poem is just perfect for this occasion. It might just become the perennial poem we use to invoke Pie Day here going forward. Perfect for Any Occasion by Alberto Rios. Pies have a reputation, and it's immediate. No talk of potential regarding a pie. It's good or it isn't, but mostly it is. Mostly it is sweet, very sweet. Right then, right there, blue and red. It can't go to junior college, work hard for the grades, work 2 jobs on the side. It can't slowly build a reputation and a growing client base. A pie gets one chance and knows it. Wearing as makeup those sparkling granules of sugar, as a collar those diamond cutouts, bespeaking fair day, felicity, contentment. I tell you, everything is great, says a pie. Great, fun, and fine. And you smell nice, too, someone says. A full pound of round sound, all good. Pies live a life of applause. Good morning on this, my great, fun, and fine friends. Let us turn to our neighbors now, wish them a good morning, and of course, ask them what their favorite kind of pie is. All right, good morning, my friends. If you will rise in body and spirit with me now and join in singing our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, which we'll be singing and around, and I turn to our friend Sam for direction on that.
I'm going to simultaneously make this simple and chaotic. So there's 4 parts, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. They all stand for start at the beginning. So if you're at number 2, you start at the beginning. Number 3, start at the beginning. So pick which number you want to be now. And we're going to keep going until we stop.
Beautiful. And will you remain risen, my friends, and join in the words of our unison affirmation? They're written in your order of service. We are united in seeking to increase love with justice and to constitute a free church open to all people, mindful of our past and drawing upon modern knowledge. We respond to the spiritual needs of persons and are devoted to the common good in community, nation, and world. We cherish the integrity of each individual and search for truth with reason as our guide. We respect differences of opinion and strive to be a democratic community. We are concerned with this world and open to the future. You may be seated. And I welcome any children forward who would like to help me light the chalice, the symbol of our bright and free faith. Come on down. Hello, good morning. Oh my goodness, it's a race. It's a race to the altar. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Do any of you like pie? Yeah? Put your hand in the air if you like pie. You don't like pie? You're not sure. That's okay. Put your hand in the air if you like pie. That's a majority. That's a majority. I think, okay, perfect. Who likes blueberry pie? Oh, yeah. Who likes key lime pie? Who likes mincemeat pie? Oh. I don't know what kind it is either. No one really knows. All right. So we're going to light this chalice in a second. And then we're going to say the words, "We light our chalice in peace and friendship." And yeah, I heard about mincemeat pie, and I think it's good too, but I don't know either. After we light our chalice, I'm going to hold the match up here, and we're going to blow it out and make a wish. We're going to blow it out and make a wish. So get your wish in mind. All righty? Okay. You ready? We light our chalice in peace and friendship. Make a wish. Perfect. Thank you so much. You may return to your seat. No, let's leave that. Let's just leave that for the time being. Okay, see you later. We'll see you soon. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Mac.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good. Wicked wound up.
Is this thing on? Yeah, okay, great.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so today is almost Pi Day, March 14th, and today is the day that we celebrate Pi Day at church by thinking about math and eating lots of delicious pie.
And in case you can't remember quite what pi is, it's a mathematical constant that is the ratio, one number above another number. So the circumference of a circle to the diameter of that circle. Circumference on top, diameter on the bottom. And regardless of the size of the circle, the answer is always pi.
Me too. You did a great job explaining, it's just...
Does anyone know some of the digits of pi? Yes. Oh, wait, oh, yeah.
Okay. Wow, better than I could do. Wow.
Can anyone fact check that for me? Anyone have any corrections?
I believe it to be true.
Oh yeah, there's a cheat sheet on order of worship. That's good. That's the way I do it.
All right, so does anyone know all of the digits of pi? Can anyone, all of them?
No.
All of them?
Up
200.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, that is actually not even close to all of the digits of pi. And no one actually knows all the digits of pi because, as my script says, pi is both an irrational number, there's no pattern to the order of the numbers of pi, and it's an infinite number, meaning it never ends. It goes on and on and on and on forever.
Ooh, that makes me think about other things that are infinite or near infinite. Does anyone have any examples of things that go until infinity, or when you think of infinity, what do you think of?
The sky. The sky.
Yes?
Time, space, continuum. Love.
Very you answer.
Yeah. School.
Hey, there's summer break.
Others? I have to say, I think about grains of sand on a beach, and perhaps also grains of flour that make a pie crust, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, and now, how do you feel when you think about infinity? What sort of emotions does it bring up for you? What was that? Too much.
Did you say phooey? Oh, phooey?
I love that.
It's too much. It's too much. Confusion? Awe. Ooh, the flow of the Tao. Cool. Okay, how about this one? Can we learn anything from infinity? What lessons does infinity have to teach us? It doesn't matter. That's one take. Yeah, Andy. Some things you'll never know. Yeah, letting go, surrender. There's more out there that we can't perceive. Ooh.
It is miraculous, right? Infinity is one of those wonders of the universe. There are no boundaries, which is amazing.
Pretty cool. Okay, so now, before we invite children and junior youth downstairs, let's say our children's blessing that hopefully will go on and on and on in this congregation for infinity.
To infinity and beyond.
Infinity and beyond. We are
Unitarian,
Unitarian, Universalist, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Have fun, y'all. We now come to the time in our service that we set aside for quiet prayer and meditation. This is a time to reflect on the past week, look forward to what might come in the hours and days ahead, offer a prayer to someone who could really use a prayer right now, or just be here now in the fullness of this moment. Following our quiet, we'll have a time to light candles. First, though, will you join me in taking a deep, refreshing breath in, a calming breath out, and relax into a sacred time of silence. At this time, all are welcome to come forward and light a silent candle for the prayers and meditations you keep today. Though we'll not be sharing our feelings out loud this morning, our gathered community and I hold your joys and sorrows with you today and always. If you'd like to light a candle, just come forward, take a candle from the basket, light from our chalice, and place it in the box of our collective sand. We ask that as you place candles, you begin at the far end of the pot and move steadily towards the pulpit, being careful never to reach over a flame. For friends joining us virtually this morning, please put in the chat if you'd like to have a candle lit for you here in the sanctuary. I also welcome you to invite candles at home, to light candles at home at this time. Does anyone wish to light a candle this morning? Friends, will you take a breath and continue this time of quiet with me? Entering into a time of prayer now. I invite you to think of someone far away that you do not know, who is in need of love and kindness and peace right now. And as this being arises in your mind, just hold that need with them. Just feel it with them. And offer them a prayer of love and kindness and peace. And taking a breath now, think of a person closer that you do not know, but is nearby, who is in need of love and kindness and peace. And just hold that need with them, just feel it with them. And offer in your own way a prayer of love and kindness and peace to them. And taking another breath, think of someone you know who is not here now, who too is in need of love and kindness and peace. And as you think of this being, just hold that need, hold it with them, feel it with them. And offer to them, in your own way, love and kindness and peace. And with another breath, think of someone who is very close to you now, perhaps even sitting next to you, here in this room. Someone who needs love and kindness and peace. And as you think of this person, as you feel their presence, hold that need with them. And offer them love and kindness and peace. And with one more breath now, feel your own body. Notice your own aliveness. and your own need for love and kindness and peace. Just feel it for a second. Just feel that need. And with a breath, breathe in love and kindness and peace for yourself. And in this mindset now of love and kindness and peace, I say, let it be so, and amen. And our friend Anne will now introduce our offering this morning.
With love at our center, this week's half-plate recipient is Wabanaki Reach. Reach supports the self-determination of all the Wabanaki people through education, truth-telling, and restorative practice in Wabanaki and Maine communities. Speaking truths and elevating difficult conversations about Wabanaki culture and ways of being with grace and hope is its ongoing work. When people more deeply understand what happened, they innately wish to be a part of writing a different history for our grandchildren. Reach also engages in Wabanaki wellness work and provides assistance to Wabanaki families. For those in the sanctuary this morning, we will be passing the offering plate to one another. For those gathered with us online, you are invited to make your offering using the donate button in your order of worship, or by dropping a check in the mail. Your generosity is greatly appreciated.
So in the interest of our most nerdiest of holidays, I've prepared a piece called The Crab Cannon by J.S. Bach. Called the Crab Cannon because crabs go back and forth. This piece is 2 parts. I play one with my right hand, one with my left hand, but it's only one melody. The melody goes forwards in one part and starts at the end with the other part. So the first note of part 1 is the last note of part 2, second note of part 1, second to last note of part 2. In the middle of the piece, you might notice the way that the parts sort of flip over each other, so if you're listening closely.
Thank you, Sam. Friends, will you now rise in body and spirit and join in singing our song of thanksgiving? The short verses are written in your order of worship. Thanks, everybody. Our reading this morning is a well-known poem by Rainer Maria Rilke entitled Widening Circles. And this version I read is translated by Joanna Macy. Widening Circles. I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. I may not complete this last one, but I give myself to it. I circle around God, around the primordial tower. I've been circling for thousands of years, and I still don't know. Am I a falcon, a storm, or a great song? A handful of years ago, I was lucky enough to spend a day with Joanna Macy, the person who translated that well-known version of Rilke's poem. Macy is a doctor of philosophy, specifically ecological philosophy. She spent a lot of time pondering systems theory, how things work together, influence each other, and in doing so, create and maintain the continuation of a complex whole, the ever-widening, cycling, pulsing circle of life. Along with her advanced knowledge of ecological systems, Joanna Macy is also an advanced student and teacher of Buddhism, a religion like our own that rests on the tenet that all things are interconnected. Nothing happens in isolation. No action can occur without a reaction, and a reaction, and a reaction, and a reaction. Joanna Macy is 94 years old at this point, and for much of her life, she's used her knowledge of systems theory and Buddhism to raise awareness about the climate crisis. And she's still at it, publishing books on how to maintain resilience and creativity and active hope in these dire times, and traveling the world, facilitating what she calls the work that reconnects. Macy believes the first step towards building that resilience and creativity needed to heal the worsening conditions of our world is to realize our, quote, absolutely inseparable connectedness with all life. Our absolutely inseparable connectedness with all life, which is what she shared with me and a dozen or so other fortunate people a few years ago. Despite Macy's Buddhist roots, during our time together, we did very little sitting. Rather, we did a lot of moving around, looking around, wandering around. In a word, a lot of circling. So, as is always the case when Pi Day comes round here at First U, I spend the weeks leading up to this service trying to get a grasp on math. When I first began my ministry here, Pi Day was mentioned to me on numerous occasions as a very important tradition. It was a day that we all partook in a potluck buffet of pie, following a worship service wherein the minister preached on a mathematical topic. Now, I will say, I have preached on lots of tricky topics and preached at a lot of tricky moments, but an annual sermon on math? My friends, in divinity school, there are no math classes. This is a yearly challenge I never anticipated. For those who've been here these past years, you know well that despite my attempts to be in healthy relationship with mathematics, math and I, well, we just don't really compute. And those of you for whom this is your first Pi Day at First U, welcome. Something you should know about me is I'm not good at math. Nevertheless, bearing the heavy yoke of this ministry, this week, I once again took my annual deep dive into math. In this round, I specifically tried to get a grasp on pi. And in doing so, noticed two things, two theological things. First, pi is defined as the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. I do not know what that means, but what I do know is that pi has something necessary to do with circles. No pi, no circle. And circles, cycles, spirals, very theological. Secondly, pi is an infinite number. It goes on forever. Apparently, we're at something like 22 trillion digits and counting of pi right now. How it does this, I do not know. And from what I've read, I don't think anyone knows. Does anyone here know? Okay, I don't think anyone knows. So alas, pi is an infinite, continuous mystery. Does it get more theological than that? It's so theological, in fact, that when Archimedes, the ancient Greek polymath considered the father of mathematics, first employed pi in calculating a sphere, his discovery was met with great unease. You see, Aristotle, who was a pretty big deal in those days, had tried to banish the concept of infinity in all philosophical conversations. Aristotle believed it was paradoxical and logically treacherous. He eventually kind of came around to it, but set in place many rules we have to follow when pondering and employing the concept of infinity. And Aristotle's anxiety about infinity was informed by Pythagoras, another of the great ancient Greek polymaths. Pythagoras is known for some important math stuff, and also for his definitions of goodness. He believed that finitude, or limit, as he called it, was good. It had a logic, an order, a practical use. Infinity, though, the unlimited, was the opposite of finite, and therefore not good. It's chaos. What are you supposed to do with that? Pythagoras loved his opposites. He made a whole chart of them, in fact, and he grouped logic and order of the finite with the masculine. And yes, of course, the chaos and mystery of the infinite with the feminine, which the punk rock minister in me just loves. Overall, though, this anxiety about infinity ultimately is theological, stemming from an age-old belief that humans, given our finitude, our limits, should relegate our thinking to what's finite. Infinity is only something the gods can understand and employ. And maybe also women? And while we finite humans have grown accustomed to contemplating infinity over the centuries, and thanks to Archimedes, who despite the haters persisted in his calculations, we now employ pi all the time. But I say we still struggle with the vast mystery of infinity. My friends, tell me, you do not know the experience of having a little or a big existential crisis while looking up at the night sky and realizing you are a speck of life on a speck of rock circling round a limitless expanse of dark matter. Infinity, the unlimited, the unknown, is a lot to take in. In fact, by its very nature, it is impossible to take in. Which does bring up the question those ancient Greeks were getting at. Why bother thinking about infinity? Why not leave that one to the gods? Well, I am no math genius, but I think that word problem actually has a pretty easy answer. The exact answer that sent me spiraling down this infinite rabbit hole this week. Why bother thinking about infinity? Because it inspires curiosity, unlimited curiosity. During that day-long retreat with Joanna Macy, a retreat she titled Coming Back to Life, we engaged in the work that reconnects through meditation and conversation and a number of exercises that illuminated our intimate ties to the widening, cycling, infinite circles of life. These exercises included things like sitting in circles of 4 and going round and round, speaking of gratitude one time and grief the next time and gratitude the next time and grief the next time. Or staring into the eyes of another person silently for a set number of minutes. Whew, that one is an acquired taste. Or another she calls the milling, wherein everyone moves aimlessly around the room in a hurry and then gradually slows down to a stop and turns to the person nearest them and simply takes their hand and holds it for a few seconds. And then we all mill again and stop by a different person and press palms together. And then we all mill again until we meet another person and we turn shoulder to shoulder and face outward together. Work that reconnects. I attended that retreat with a few people I knew, some of them very close friends. And admittedly, I think these exercises would have been challenging for me to do with people I didn't know. They were quite intimate, quite vulnerable. Though I will say, there were people there I'd never met before. And throughout the day, we could not help but soften towards one another. Joanna Macy's exercises, while yes, are acquired taste, they did truly succeed at reconnecting me, reconnecting us to a shared life. It is hard not to witness the life of another person after looking them in the eyes for a little while, or pressing your palm to theirs for a few seconds, or even just walking around a room in a hurry together. I often speak up here about the current epidemic of loneliness. Last year, the Surgeon General published a national advisory naming loneliness as an urgent health crisis requiring immediate action. It's a big deal. And I believe it's a root cause of many of the societal ills that plague us. 1 in 4 Americans feels lonely all the time. And 1 in 10 have no close friendships to speak of. Vivek Murthy, the Surgeon General, defines loneliness as social disconnection. And while many efforts to reduce this suffering are taking shape right now, recent studies show that one of the strongest remedies to fend off and heal loneliness is curiosity. One report states that curiosity propels us into engagement with the world and enhances a sense of belonging. Another says that curiosity strengthens our ability to adapt to changing environments with excitement and optimism. While recalling my day with Joanna Macy and my experience with her work that reconnects, I could not help but think about this epidemic of disconnection in our country. My mind wandered specifically to the final exercise she led that day. Towards the conclusion of the retreat, we all went outside, and I remember it was a glorious spring day, the sort of day I'm sure we will welcome up here eventually, given the ever-spinning cycle of seasons and all. And once outdoors, Macy directed us to partner up, a direction which several hours prior had been anxiety-inducing, but now was welcomed with ease. It seemed we had learned pretty quickly how to adapt to changing environments with excitement and optimism. I invite you now to take a mirror walk, she said gently and clearly. A mirror walk. One partner was directed to close their eyes, and the other to take their hand and guide them around slowly, paying close attention to both the movements of the person who could not see and the surroundings they shared. When the guide noticed something that caught their eye or piqued their curiosity, you might say, they shared it with their partner, perhaps telling them to crouch down and smell a flower, or lifting up their hand to touch a leaf, leading them gently into a sunny spot, and then a shady spot, and then back into a sunny spot. And then, on occasion, the guide would point their partner in a direction, perhaps very up close to the trunk of a tree, or further back to take in a bed of tulips, or guiding their head up to look towards the clouds. And then the guide would invite them to open their eyes and look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. The work that reconnects. Friends, today on Pi Day, we celebrate circles and infinity and math and pi. And more than anything, I think we celebrate the power of curiosity to propel us into engagement with this world. This beautiful world that is the shape of a circle, that is the circle to which we undeniably belong. A circle is a symbol of connection. Let us never forget, and let us gently and clearly support others in remembering that we are absolutely, inseparably connected to this circle of life. Look in the mirror. Let us live our lives in widening circles, beloveds, that reach out across the world. Let us live as falcons and storms and great songs. Let us belong to infinity and beyond. Amen. Let it be so, and let the people eat pie. Our closing hymn is number 1064, Blue Boat Home, a favorite of many.
Though below me I feel no motion, on these mountains
you remain standing for a closing benediction? May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience profound joy and the causes of profound joy. May we all know our inseparable connection to the circle of life, and may we all be free in this life. And will you join me in the words of our unison benediction, again written in your order? For those who come here seeking God, may God go with you. For those who come embracing life, may life return your affection. For those who come to seek a path, may the way be found and the courage to take it step by step. Go in peace, my friends. We'll see you downstairs for pie.